TRT at 25 is not something you hear very often. Today I want to talk about what led to me getting on TRT at 25, what it's been like, the side effects, this, that, and the other. We're going to all cover it here. So with that, let's get into it. Since about the beginning of last year, I had started trying to take steps to take care of myself. One of them being, I finally got seen about my arthritis. If you look at my thumbs, they're kind of weird shaped. I've got psoriatic arthritis, a few different joints that are inflamed. But I finally got medication for it, and that's made a world of difference. But also going back to the gym, eating better, using meal prep companies, and actually having a healthy diet. But there was one problem, and it was that I was still heavily abusing a drug called Adderall. For those who are unfamiliar, Adderall, it's a common drug that's prescribed to people with ADHD. And I've taken it over the last few years, and for a while it was very helpful to me. But unfortunately, as the years went on, I'd say up until the last couple years, I really began to abuse it, and it got to the point where I was a completely different person on it, and I was physically dependent on it. By August, I was up to about 60 milligrams a day, and this was prescribed, mind you, 3 20 milligram instant release pills. I was also drinking like 2 energy drinks a day, and what confused me was the fact that I was still exhausted all the time. Despite the healthy eating and exercise, in general, I didn't feel good throughout the day. I just had this feeling that there was something wrong. Like I didn't know what it was, but I just had a feeling that there was something off, like maybe something obvious that was causing an issue, because I didn't feel like for someone who was 25 years old and has been work driven all of his life to be suddenly so exhausted and eating well and exercising and drinking a hell of an amount of energy drinks. Like I just figured, like, why in the world am I so exhausted still? And the thing is, my primary care physician, the one who was prescribing me the Adderall, he didn't see an issue. He just figured, well, maybe you should sleep more, or, maybe cut down on the energy drinks a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I cut down on the energy drinks, I'm going to be asleep all day. Of course, you could make the argument maybe I needed a new primary care physician, and you're probably right. But still, just to me, things weren't adding up. So towards the end of August, when I had begun to wean off of my Adderall, just because I didn't like the effects of it, and, I had realized that the Adderall I was taking was probably causing me more problems than, benefits. During that, I had booked a consult with Merrick Health. Now, Merrick Health is a health optimization clinic, and I had heard about them from Derek, More Plates, More Dates. I had watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it. The philosophy of the clinic is health optimization from the comfort of your own home. And as someone who watched a bunch of the videos and has heard about it, sounded good, And over the months of watching and listening to health-related videos where Merrick Health got brought up, things like this swayed me to just go ahead with it.
Is that beneficial even for someone who's like not on drugs, just to like figure out where you are?
For me, even if you're somebody who is doing nothing and you think you're totally healthy, I think getting a baseline elaborate panel is always warranted, because then if something gets up, you can then retroactively assess what went awry and is causing you to be this way now.
I thought maybe Merrick Health will find something, doing a huge blood panel, because I knew that they would do a big blood panel on me and, like look at all my markers. I thought maybe they would find something. So I went through their website, I gave them all the information they asked for about my lifestyle, my diet, this, that, and the other, and I got paired with one of their health coaches, a guy named Jacob Shalvey, and he's still my health coach to this day. Fantastic service. But the very first thing Jacob said to me when we got on a phone call, and he was looking at my information that I had given Merrick, and he was like, holy shit, you're on a lot of Adderall, dude. And unlike what my primary care physician had said, like, that actually made sense. Like 60 milligrams of Adderall a day, that's a lot of Adderall. He explained to me what the long-term risks of taking that much Adderall could be, the fact that I was always putting myself in a fight or flight mode. Like I was constantly living in fight or flight. And I didn't know any of this. I had no idea that this was the case. Nobody ever told me. So long story short, we talked a bit more, and I ended up just purchasing the most expensive package they had, the most comprehensive look at my blood work and everything else. Fast forward a few weeks, we did the lab work. Of course, LabCorp got the actual order for the blood work, and the results came back. And that's when Jacob and I talked about what we were looking at. Jacob walked me through all the different markers on my blood work, and there were a few things that were out of whack that weren't that uncommon, but there were a few supplements that they gave me, and they said, like, take these, they'll fix these markers. But when we looked at the blood work, the thing that stuck out to me the most was this. And if you've watched this far, you probably know that having T levels right there at 25, it's kind of low. It's not super low, but it's definitely near the bottom of the reference range. Now, this is going to be the most general statement I'm going to make in this video, but your testosterone levels, they affect everything. It's not the be-all, end-all for well-being, but if it's out of whack for you, like that can cause issues. And for some people, a T level of 397 could be perfectly fine. You go about your day, everything's great, you have good energy, you have great results in the gym, all of that stuff. But for some people, it might not be good. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that this was the absolute root of all my problems, but it did make some sense. Symptoms of low testosterone can be low sex drive, issues with mood, fatigue, brain fog, lack of motivation, feelings of anxiety, depression, apathy. And especially because at this point, I was completely off of Adderall, the things that I was experiencing were, let me see what I got written down here. Oh, low sex drive, my mood, fatigue, brain fog, lack of motivation, feelings of anxiety, depression, and apathy. There might be a bit of a correlation here. And after talking with the doctors at Merrick and going through all the different options for kind of treatment plans, we decided on TRT would be the best for me. So right now what I'm taking is 160 milligrams of testosterone a week. I inject 3 times a week. And I also take HCG, which is this very long name that I will screw up pronouncing correctly. And I take that to help keep my balls working. They stay the same size and I keep my fertility. And is it a bit annoying that I'm injecting 3 times a week and in theory I'll be doing that for the rest of my life? Yeah, of course it is. But the thing is, I just look at it as medication. There are some people that, take insulin every single day or whatever the schedule is, people who are diabetic. So I just look at it as medication. It's part of my daily routine, when I wake up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it's not that big of a deal. But once I started treatment, like within 2 weeks, the best way to put it would be like it felt like someone had switched the lights back on. I actually started to have energy throughout the day. I no longer felt like I could just lay in bed all day and not hate myself afterwards. Like I started to care. I started to give a shit and have motivation to get things done or at least want to do things. And it was incredible because I hadn't had that since, my Adderall hit just right, at the right time of day with the right dosage. And my mood, oh my gosh, like I no longer hated everyone. I no longer had this, like the pessimistic and just angry attitude I had towards a lot of things. It started to fade away. And at first I didn't trust it. When I started to be in a halfway decent mood throughout the day, I just figured like at some point this is coming down. Sort of like when, the Adderall, like you have the peak when the dopamine is, going and everything's great. And then it finally comes crashing down. Like I was expecting that over and over and it never came. And as the days have continued to go on, my confidence has begun to come back a bunch. Like I actually like kind of believe in myself. And I had struggled with that for, kind of like almost the whole last year. And I was very confused on, who I was, what I wanted to do. So it's been really nice to, I guess, have a bit of an ego again or like, care and have like a drive to do something. And an amazing thing that I didn't know if anything other than therapy would fix, but I've been able to deal with the voices in my head much better. My ADHD is still here. It exists. One thing to mention, completely forgot to put it in the script here, but a lot of my symptoms of ADHD have subsided. Like I still do plenty of ADHD things. I have my shit piles, I Roomba clean, like, go on like ADHD Life, any of the Instagram pages that are ADHD comedy. I do all of them still, but it's controllable now. But getting back to what I was saying earlier, the voices, the mean, evil voices saying, you can't do it, this is dumb, this is stupid, why even try, this, that, like all of these like very negative, like self inner critical voices. It's been so much easier to silence them and argue with them. Like when I have a thought come into my head of something like, dude, you can't do this whole like fitness thing or like just go back to making car videos, like just shut up and go back to making car videos. When I'd hear that play in my head, now I'm able to go, dude, like, how is that productive? Like, I can always make car videos still, and I can make fitness videos too. Like, there will be people that watch them. Some of you won't. That's okay. But like, I'm able to like reason with these thoughts now and like not have them ruin my day. Work feels good again. Well, that is like work that I like. I don't know the right way to phrase a lot of these things, but life just doesn't feel like a drag anymore. And of course, my strength has gone up considerably in the gym. I put on more muscle mass. So that's been nice. I feel like now the way I think I should feel at 25. I think this is how most people feel at 25. They've got energy to do what they want to do. They have drive, they have motivation. motivation. They have interest to, go after whatever they want in life. I don't have unlimited energy. I'm not wired or anything like that. But I feel kind of normal. I think this is how most people feel on a day-to-day basis. I got to assume that over the years, the Adderall abuse, that really caused issues with like my natural testosterone production and probably put it where it ended up being before I got on treatment for it. I don't know what my T levels were like before I took Adderall, but that was, oh geez. I think I started taking Adderall, right before, I'd say about 6 months before I turned 21. So it's been a really long time since I've been using the stuff. Only the last few years I'd say I abused it, but like on a stimulant for a long time. Now, something I don't think I mentioned earlier that I probably should have, but I didn't go into Merrick Health like expecting to get on TRT. I just figured there was a problem with me taking 3 Adderalls and drinking like 2 energy drinks a day, and I was still exhausted. The other thing I will say too is it's a little frustrating. I'm not the right person to say this, and I'm probably not going to say it correctly either, but I'm going to try. It does seem like, in my experience anyway, typical primary care doctors, they're much more interested in treating a symptom rather than like trying to find the root of the problem. And I can only assume it's because treating the symptom is a lot faster and easier and potentially just more lucrative than actually finding out what the problem is. I don't know how long my testosterone levels have been an issue, but nobody ever mentioned I should check. Nobody ever had, told me I should get an extensive blood panel done and we should look at all these different markers. Nobody ever done that for me. So it was really nice to go through Merrick. And this is no ad. Like I already said that before, but I'm going to say it again here. This is not an ad for Merrick. They're not paying me to do this. They don't know I'm making this video. Like I just want to give my experience because I was very happy with it. But it is kind of frustrating that, up until this point, nobody had even mentioned to me that I should check these things or should, look at this or whatever. And I guess that's just our healthcare system, the way it works. As I said, this isn't an ad for Merrick, but what I would suggest doing, and this goes for anyone, whether you're into fitness or anything else, go get your blood work done. And if you don't know what blood work to get, go through Merrick or go through any of these other, there's a lot of online clinics that will do similar things to this. I like Merrick because, it's an overall wellness clinic. They'll look at a lot of different blood markers for you and they'll look at your overall wellness and they try to optimize that, not just stick you on TRT or something. That is a treatment option they offer, but it's not like that's the only thing they offer. So choose whatever company you want, but for the sake of your sanity and possibly your wallet too, get your blood work done. Because if you find out that there's an underlying issue that you didn't know about, and then you end up getting on treatment for a symptom, and the symptom gets relieved, but it ends up causing a different issue, you're going to be really pissed off because the damage will already be done, or you'll already be addicted to something, or whatever the case is.
I actually would like to do the same because my old man got the big C cancer, and he could have maybe caught it when he noticed his test levels down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll get you guys an elaborate panel. My company's called Merrick Health. It's like full preventative medicine, broad
That's your
spectrum.
company?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Our man.
And I do want to say big thanks to Jacob Shalvey, my health coach over at Merrick Health. The service has been amazing. Anytime I've had a question or I've wanted to ask him just something related to my treatment or, the supplements I'm taking, or if there's anything else I should be looking at, like health optimization wise, I'm able to email him and he gets back to me within 24 hours. I've never had a doctor be able to do that for me. So either way, big shout out, Jacob. Thank you very much, man. Last thing I'll mention, the one side effect I've had from getting on TRT, my acne has gotten a little bit worse. And frankly, I think all of this could be solved with a decent, morning and night acne routine. And despite my efforts, I have not been consistent. So that's the only thing that I've kind of experienced from this that I'm that's negative. But otherwise, everything's been perfect. So with all of that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you can take something of value for it, apply it to your own life. Go get your blood work done. You don't have to go through Merrick. Just go get it done. You just never know what the problem could be. But with that, thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.